Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University Level, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Today is Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? How was the weekend? How's everything going? Me, I'm still getting over a cold. I don't know what's been going on the last few months, but it's all good though. But anyway, I wanted to. Oh yeah, before I get started on today's episode, I just want to. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I listened to this podcast. This podcast that started a couple months ago, and I guess Russell Brunson, he bought Dan Kennedy's old Magnetic Marketing, and so now he has a podcast called Magnetic Marketing, and a lot of it's a lot of old Dan Kennedy tapes and interviews and stuff like that. And he interviewed the guy that co-wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, and it's not about religion or anything like that. I'm talking about the interview, of course. The guy was just talking about different ways of like serving, different ways that you can, become, to get yourself out there. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to explain because I was listening to it, but I was working, and so I told myself, I said I had to go back and listen because he said a lot of different things. I couldn't write all of them down because I was outside working. I was outside doing some housework yesterday. But the stuff that I heard, even though I didn't write 90% of it down because I didn't have a pen with me, a lot of the stuff he said, I was like, oh man, I got to go back and listen to this again. I'm probably going to go back and listen to it a couple times this week. So I highly recommend that you, if you don't listen to, because I don't listen to a lot of podcasts anymore. I've cut back. I scaled back on a lot of different things that I watch and I listen to, and the reason why I've done that, and the reason why maybe you should do that, is because when you're trying to do something different, when you're trying to create something, the one thing that you can't do is you can't sit around watch a lot of TV. And the stuff that you do want to consume, you don't want to consume a bunch of crap. Now I know you can watch different movies and learn different things from it. Like. Every movie that I watch now, I think about it from like a marketing perspective, from like a, what kind of lesson can I take out of this movie, I don't watch movies anymore just to watch them. I watch them for a reason, for a purpose, and you should try to do the same thing, when you first do it, like when you turn your brain into, you like, all right, I'm going to be, marketing, internet, all this kind of stuff, entrepreneurship, start watching the movie and then write down different things that you could take away from the movie. Write down different lessons that you could take away from the movie. I'll give you an example. I watched this movie. It's from the 40s. It's this movie called, me and my dad, we love this movie. It's called Sergeant York, okay? And Sergeant York is he was a bit of a, sort of an alcoholic, and then he got religion, and so they wanted to start the war, the World War One, and he didn't want to be involved because he had found religion. He thought, killing people would be, send them to hell or something like that, But there's a lot of, I sat there and watched the movie, and while I was watching the movie, I wrote down like 20 different things, just on the movie about lessons and stuff like that. And I'm like, I could use these for podcast ideas, you know what I mean? And so I done that with that movie. I watched Rocky movies 1 week with my daughter. She was a few months old. I watched a lot of Rocky movies with her. I got a lot of lessons from watching Rocky, And the story of how Sylvester Stallone wrote Rocky and how he was, like this struggling actor, this struggling artist, that in itself is a beautiful story, and that could you can apply that to yourself, you know, or you could tell that story to anybody that, you know, around you, you know, that might want to hear it. But the point is, when you get to a certain point in your life, you're like, hey man, this is what I want to do. I want to go full bloom, you know. Like I'll give you another example. My wife watches 90 Day Fiance, and so once a week I watch this stupid show. This show is so stupid, you know. I'll be honest, it's stupid. But me and my wife, we bond over watching. You know, I'm like, she wants me to watch it. I'm like, all right. But the point that I get out of the show more than anything, I'm like, these people, God bless these people, that whoever came up with this concept of this stupid show, God bless them, because they've created a whole universe. I mean, they have the 90 Day Fiance, they got the 90 Day, something about people in America go to the foreign country, they got the people, you know, from the foreign country coming to America. They got these people, they not engaged yet, they just going over to see if they're going to get engaged. We got the people that's married already. It's a whole universe. It's like Marvel, you know what I mean? It's Marvel for reality TV, and it's so stupid. But it's like, if you can come up with your very own world, it's like, how awesome would that be, you know? And a lot of people don't look at that kind of stuff like that, you know? But the way they have done it, it's like, man, it's amazing, you know? And so, I say all that to say, the content you do consume, learn from it, you know, take some notes, do some studying, you know? And you can use those ideas for YouTube. You can use those ideas for podcasts. You can use those ideas to write stories. You can use those ideas for your own business. There's so many things you can do with those ideas. Write them down. Don't write them down on just write them down in a notebook, or write them down on your phone, maybe in your notes, you know. But write them down somewhere and keep them somewhere where you can see them, you know. Don't write them down on scrap pieces of paper, because you'll lose those scrap pieces of paper. Trust me, I used to write stuff down on scrap paper all the time. Then I have like 20 pages of scrap paper, and I'm like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? What the hell is that? You know, and it never worked. So get you a notebook, write down ideas. I got a notebook full of ideas. And I was listening to this guy one time. He's kind of a quirky guy, James Altucher, Altchuer, I believe. And he was saying how you should write down like 10 ideas every day, 20 ideas every day. And you know, I did that for a while, and that's a pretty good thing. I had to get back to that. You know, that's, you know, once the child was born, for me, it was for that first month, it was like crashing into a, it was like crashing. Not to get off on a different subject, but I'm gonna tell every last one of you this: if you don't have a child, the first 2-3 months of having a baby, it's like running head first into a tidal wave. You know what I mean? Like it's very daunting. It's very like, whoo, it's like, whoo, that's a lot. It's a lot. And because, you know, well, for me, some of you might be different, but because I laugh now, because my brother, God bless him, he was a heck of a lot younger than me. But when he had a child at the age of like 25, I think. But the thing about him, he lived down the street from my parents. So my parents would watch the baby in the daytime. They would watch the baby in the evening. My brother would be over there sleeping, going to work, sleeping. You know, his wife would take naps in the afternoon, or his girlfriend, or whatever she was at the time, she would take naps in the afternoon. And I'm like, man, you know. And when I had the baby, my parents, they live 8 hours away. My wife's mom, she's not able to, you know, she's bedridden, so it's not like, you know, we can get help from her, you know. And so it's like me and my wife out on the island, and I'm just like, wow, this is a lot, you know. And so prepare yourself, you know. you can't really prepare yourself, because I know I used to be like, man, you got to have X, Y, Z, but it's sort of hard to prepare yourself for such a daunting task. But I tell you what, though, in these 10 months of having this baby, these 10 months have been some of the best 10 months of my life, you know. And to see my daughter now with her little, she has two teeth at the bottom, 2 more coming in, you know, and you see her trying to walk, and you know, you see her dancing the music a little bit, you know, and you're like, ah, man, this is gonna be so nice, you know. I'm looking forward to walking her down to the movie theater, like on a Wednesday afternoon at 2:00. Like, come on, child, let's just go to the movies, you know. Like, I'm looking forward to that, and so that's it for me, you know. But write all your content down. You know, if you're watching a movie, write some notes, take some notes, you know, get some marketing ideas, some podcast ideas, some video ideas, you know, and take it from there, you know. But what I wanted to talk about today, I know we went long on the whole, you know, but definitely listen to that Dan Kennedy interview with the Victor Davis, I believe that's his name, and you know, it's very eye opening. There's a few good podcasts that he has that you should definitely check out. And yeah, that's that. I lost my train of thought, actually. It's funny, you know how sometimes you like, I know what I want to discuss, and then you just sort of like, what did I want to talk about? But now that I said that, I know what I want to talk to you about. Today I want to talk to you about social media. Now, listen, I'll be honest with you. I hate social media. Social media is such a waste of time. Social media to me is so stupid. It's not even funny. It's ridiculous. But I know in order to get off the ground with your marketing, with your internet marketing, with anything else, you probably need some social media. You know, you just can't, because I laugh at myself sometimes, because I've got off Facebook, I got off Twitter like a couple months ago. I barely have an Instagram. My friend from the Navy, we communicate on Instagram. We just send direct messages, and that's not even every day. That's like once a week, maybe twice a week. So I barely look at that. I deleted the Instagram off my phone. I have to go on the computer and type it in, you know, at this point. And so for me, it's like whatever. But I know, I was thinking yesterday that you have to have some sort of presence, you know, online, you know, a little social media, you know. I'm not saying, you know, now personally, would I be on there? No, but for business, yeah, I would definitely open up like a Facebook page or a Twitter or whatever. It just depends on what your goals are, what you want to do, you know. If you have if you're a wedding planner, you're a wedding coordinator, I probably would definitely have an Instagram page, because people like to look at pictures like that on Instagram. A Facebook page, you know, and you can set it up. You don't have to run it yourself. You can have somebody run it for you, but you know, I would avoid. I don't want to tell nobody what to do, but I would definitely not be on social media like that personally, but business wise, you definitely should be on there. And if you're on there more for personal than business, you might want to turn that ship around, because you're wasting your time and you're wasting a lot of, you know, things that you could be doing. And social media is such a waste of time. You know, and I say that because, you know, I was thinking about this Saturday. I was outside Saturday. Watering the grass, you know. And it's such it's an activity that we have to do every day, because me and my wife in our house, we we got new grass. You know, we put the grass down, put the seed down, all this stuff. And at first it was my wife, she was all mortified. She was like, "What is this? This ain't grass, this is just dirt." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, "Hey man, we gotta get the seed. We gotta water the grass every day. We gotta water the grass a lot, you know." And so over the course of the last 3 months, every day I went out and watered the grass. Every day I went out there and watered the grass. Every day. And so now the grass is more green, you know. It's a nice green, it's healthy looking, it's pretty looking, you know. And the point of it is, I poured a lot of time, I poured a lot of effort, I poured a lot of love into the grass, you know, and it's grown and it's beautiful. And the point is, the more you pour time into the things that you want to do as far as business, the more time you will be able to have for you, your family, that you will make more money. Instead of pissing time away on social media, instead of pissing time away looking at stupid memes and, you know, talking to people that you never gonna see, or arguing with people. I knew a guy, I was in the Navy with this guy. He argues with people every day on social media. When I had a Facebook page, I would see him every day arguing with people on social media. It's like, you're never gonna see these people. What's the point of arguing with these people? But to me, it seems so stupid. But I'm like, and a lot of people amaze me, because it's like, I'm 43 and I had a life. There was life before social media. You know what I mean? And some people act like they didn't have that life. Listen, I understand if you're 25 or whatever, you know, if you're, you know, 20, you know, under the age of 25, you know, what's under the age of 25? You was born what, 19? You know, if you're born in like 2000, something like that, I can understand, because you probably grew up with social media, of course, but people that were born before that, people born if you was born in the 70s, the 80s, the early 90s, it's like, come on, man, you grew up without social media for a while, you know. Hell, my friend was telling me one time, he's like, man, I had a MySpace page, and I was like, I missed the whole MySpace thing. He's like, man, and I was like, yeah. I was like, man, don't nobody care about this stuff, man, but use it for business, but don't fall in love with it personally, you know what I mean? Like, don't become so addicted, because it's like, you have the phone in your hand every day, right? You have the phone in your hand. Most people have the phone in their hand every day. Why not make money with that stupid phone if you have it in your hand every day? Instead of using it for nonsense and shenanigans, use it for something that you can make some money with, you know? And because as you well see, the way the economy is going, the way gas is going, everything else is going, the more money you make, the less time you have to be complaining about, oh man, gas is blah blah blah, I gotta blame this person, that person, you know. Aim high to make money, you know. Leave the social media alone in your personal life, increase it in your business, and you'll be better off for it. Trust me and believe me. And once you get to a certain level, you don't have to deal with it anymore. You can pay somebody to do your social media. So, but that's that. That's my little rant for social media. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Designo. Thank you for listening, and as always, everybody, peace.